fairy tale instead of the European. You got to study the European. You're studying the European's fairy tale. And you know the mind is not structured that way. The mind processes information. You listen to me and you're processing it, right? That's what you're doing. A mind that thinks does something totally different. Totally different. Because I can say one word and you start hearing music if you're black. Or you start shaking your leg if you're black. Because now you're storing information. You're storing it. And I said you stored it. You can go back and retrieve it later just by kicking your damn leg. That's black. That's why we move so much. Because we're storing them, we're talking to each other. We're throwing information everywhere. Next time I need that, I just do like that. Got it. No problem. Storing information. So they're doing masking and remasking. When I was, where was I? I was in New York and they had an orgy in the 3rd grade. Because the teacher put the bad kids in the 3rd grade in one room and she went to the other room. She came back to the other room, they were having an orgy. They said they were playing Jerry Springass, whatever his name is. All this stuff is going on in the classroom. Totally different ball game. So we're crossing the relationship between food and a drug now. We also have another thing going on with learning. Learning that we used to do was like 1 and 1 is 2. Then the child says, yeah, 1 and 1 is 2, and 3 and 3, and go through that kind of progression like that. That's not how you do it anymore. You say 1 and 1 is 2 only if it makes you feel good. That's right. Because that's how they're learning now. It's only good if it makes you feel good. Only do your work if it makes you feel good. If it doesn't make you feel good, it's not worth it. You see, they're attaching a whole lot of things, riders, onto information now. So the mind control is done by the computer games, which uses European logic and European logic alone, which shows relationships where women beat up men. China, wrestler on TV, I don't know if you're aware of this. The children watch China. Women beat up men, and men beat up women on TV. They have on all these crossing gender roles where there's no such thing as gender anymore. We used to say a man and a woman. That don't mean anything anymore. They have crossed genders now. So when you say a man and a woman, you haven't said anything to kids coming up now. So what you're saying is one thing, but how they interpret it is a total another thing. That's why these little, the Wayans, whatever those boys' name is, Wayans, yeah, the Wayan brothers, yeah. And this travesty Smiley. Another issue altogether. These guys come on TV and that commercial for their movie is hitting an elderly black woman in the face. You've seen it. So they help in promoting this whole cross thing that's going on. One of them acts like a little gay guy, gets upset and the white man holds him in his arm. I don't know if you've seen this stuff. This stuff is devastating. The little stuff that was done to us was subtle. We wanted love and affection, and our mother gave us a white bottle of milk. So we associate love and affection with white. That's the effect of the bottle of milk. You think it's the cow's milk. No, it's the effect of associating white with love and affection with a white bottle of milk. But they're coming from a whole nother range now with this thing. Whole nother range. Nonetheless, I'll get more of that later. Yes, ma'am. Hotel. Oh, that homosexual debate.
Brother,
oh, man.
Woo, you tore him up. Anyway.
He wanted a date.
Are you serious? You broke it down. Oh,
yeah, that was a rough one. My wife took out insurance on me when I went out there, didn't you, Seela? Yes,
but anyway, brother, it's always something. Just a few days ago, I've been going through a cleansing, eating the live foods, all the raw and everything, cutting down on the cooked foods. And just the other night, sometime last week, I broke my raw diet, and I said, let me go get some rice drinks, right? Kind of had a taste for something sweet. And a few minutes later, my heart started racing. My heart's pounding, and my body started vibrating. And I'm like, what is that? It was scary. I walked outside, which happened to be a cool night, because I thought that would help me to relax. And I tried to lay down, and it got worse. And I said, what is this? So I got on the phone and called up a friend of mine who studies nutrition and everything. He said, what did you eat exactly? And I told him. I said, rice drink. He said, what? Read me the ingredients on that label. I got to malt barley. He said, that is it. He said, that's one of the aliases of MSG. So here we go with this monosodium glutamate. Can you tell us anything about that, if you know any other aliases? Because, I call myself trying to be healthy, eating right, doing everything. And here's something else, monosodium glutamate. You're putting it, it's in just about everything,
Yeah, it's a salt. This monosodium glutamate is a salt. There are many salts, and many of the salts don't even taste salty. It helps the solution retain the water. That like white sugar's name is corn syrup. If you see corn syrup, that's white sugar. Dextrose, glucose, all of those are another name for white sugar. Sucrose is a combination of fructose and glucose. And your body's not used to eating that high level of sugar. All of this high level of sugar which we are eating is rather abnormal. The older fruits and vegetables, which people call non-hybridized, were small. The big apple that you see now, those big apples, that was not around 1950. These big bananas and grapes, those were much, much smaller when our ancestors were eating them during slavery. We're eating them at they're so large and have so much sugar in it, it's really stressing our pancreas. It stresses your pancreas, which means that it kills the melanin centers in your pancreas. The melanin centers in your pancreas are called the islands of Langerhans. That's the driver of your pancreas. If you destroy the melanin, you make the person have diabetes. That's what causes diabetes mellitus, the destruction of the melanin centers. All drugs work by destroying melanin, slowing it up, or speeding it up. Slow it down, speed it up, or destroy it. It has to work on the melanin, or it's not a drug at all. The monosodium glutamate, or the salt, again, is dealing with the viscosity of the water. And African people send more signals via water than electricity. That's what we're not reading in this situation, our body chemistry. We send more information in water in our bodies than electricity or magnetism combined. Water has this characteristic. If you were to stick your finger in the Atlantic Ocean and take your finger out, that fingerprint will still be there. That's how they can photograph. The Navy's done it in 1960 with that photography. Photograph the earth and tell you every place you have been and what age you were when you were there, because you left your melanin print there. Melanin leaves permanent memory. When you grow, your body lays out a blueprint that tells your nerves and muscles how to grow. And it's laid out in blue. That's why the Europeans, before they make something into a reality, they make a blueprint based on the human body. Everything comes from the human body. So your body makes this blueprint, and your nerves and muscles knows how to grow. Therefore, if you cut off a person's leg, they will have a false leg, and they say, my leg hurt. And you know they don't have a leg there. It's because the melanin leaves permanent memory. So if you stick your finger in the Atlantic Ocean, even if a storm and a tide comes, your fingerprint will still be in that water, because melanin leaves permanent memory. And if I want to alter your memory, I can alter it from your fingerprint. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I do not have to use you. I can use a witness, as they call it in psychic healing, a witness. That's what a dog uses when he takes a handkerchief from a man who's running away. He uses a witness which carries the same vibration, therefore he can find the man. That's what the melanin in the handkerchief. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the melanin in the handkerchief. So to find you, all I have to do is find your melanin. And I can find you. I just asked you your melanin, where is it? And to do that, they have machines to do that this day. Very easily done. Remember, everything is based on your body. You have rhythms that come. Each organ has a rhythm, and if you want to find out how well an organ is, you listen to its rhythm. And we call it the auscultation system, and that's why they have a stethoscope. But the Europeans can only listen to the rhythm of the heart. They can't hear the rest of it. Hell, they can't even dance. So they can't pick up the rhythm. I couldn't see the time, brother. You can tell me. Yeah, say 5 minutes. I had that before. Yeah, I'm on color folks' time anyway. It's like 5 years.